And a big Cavan welcome to Donegal man, all the way from Moville and Donegal, to Brian McDermott. Well done, Brian. You are the MC here for the 7th year of the Taste of Cavan.
It's hard to believe that this is 7 years, but I mean, I love this festival. I do this job around the country, but Cavan gives you a welcome that nowhere else gives you. I think it's the people. There's just something calm, more appreciative about what you do at an event like this, and do you know what, it's an absolute pleasure just to turn up and host.
I have to say that I've been speaking to a lot of people yesterday and a lot of people today, and a lot of visitors, speaking to a lot of visitors as well, and everybody's saying that there is something very friendly and very atmospheric about the Cavan taste of all of the other tastes of that. Cavan is very atmospheric, and the ambience is great.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally convey that as well, because you know, food festivals are about a county showcasing what they do, you know, what they do in food, what they do with the producers, but it goes a step, I think, behind that as well in Cavan, because we hear and we interview the farmers, those that make it happen, those that give us our food. We just, after hearing a story about, you know, the importance of grass-fed from a particular farmer and the sustainability and what they contribute to that. So I think it's important that a food festival gives all elements.
Yeah, and I think that's what this festival is about today. And honest to goodness, been a Cavan woman, bred and lived in Cavan all my life, you cannot pass very quickly from one person to another without meeting a farmer, because nearly every second person has a background in farming, or is a farmer, is a part-time farmer or a farmer. So farming in our county is very big and very important.
You can see that it's very important, that's the key word, but it is also very big, and very big in a lovely way where they work together, and I think that's what's key. I mean, I just commented on it no more than 10 minutes ago to a guy that we're in the heartland of farming here in Ireland, and not just to Cavan but to Ireland. Farming is so important. Without it, we have nothing. And I don't mean we as chefs, I mean you as a consumer, me as a consumer, you know, to know that we can eat grass-fed beef, to know that we can get our dairy industry as a result of that, and we produce the best cheese, the best butter, the best beef, the best pork, chickens, and they're all very localised to Cavan, and you can see it in a very modest way being displayed through branding. And I think there's something about the border counties, Donegal as well, and Cavan, is that I don't know if it's because of historic reasons that we sort of sit there and we do what we do, but it's changing. We're getting better at showcasing what we do, and Cavan's a great example of that.
That is what the Taste of Cavan does exactly, because even though I've been in the media and everything like that, and you know, you see a lot and hear a lot of stuff, but I am so surprised at the amount of producers we have that are Cavan based, or have a connection, a big connection with they're either using Cavan or they're in Cavan and Cavan based. Now, let's get back to Moville and Donegal, and you have the Foyle Hotel there. How many years since you opened up the Foyle?
We are just going about 16 months. So the Foyle Hotel, it's situated in Moville, which is on the Inishowen Peninsula.
A beautiful part of Donegal, I would say, and I love the accent up there as well.
Yeah, it is lovely. I mean, it's home for us at the moment, and we love it. Moville is a seaside town. It's on the Inishowen Peninsula. It's
a long drive from Cavan, though, isn't it?
I don't think so. I mean, people always say that to me when I'm here, when I'm in Cavan, you know, without thinking that we make that journey, and we regularly make that journey. So the hotel's a lovely project for us because it's a 16-bedroom boutique hotel, and myself and my wife Brenda and our kids Neve and Aoife, we are the family that basically are there on most occasions to welcome you, and there's never been a better time for tourism, for hospitality, and for us the key thing is it's about food, it's about the welcome and the personalisation service that you can give.
That is ideally the kind of Ireland we should be selling, boutique hotels with natural produce. That is ideally, and with this modern day and age, we're trying desperately, and a lot of European countries are trying desperately to hold on to our identity and our image, and that perhaps is one area that we can still do it, is in exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I think we all still do it well. I mean, people say to me, look, how do you remain so consistent in what you do? And it's not, what I don't mean by that is in terms of food or in terms of our service, but people buy people, and the best strength that we have is the people. And if you remain true to yourself in terms of your personality, what's going to happen is that you are going to give the service that is within you rather than manufactured, and that is more consistent. I mean, we all love people that are consistent in their moods, consistent in their energy, and that's something that has to come through in a hospitality business, because the role of a hospitality business, the role of a hotel, is to welcome people, make your day better. We don't know what's going on in your head when you come through the door, so by the very ambience, by the food, and by the person meeting and greeting and thanking you, and that's what a small boutique hotel can deliver.
Absolutely, and nobody can take that away from you, and nobody can do it for you either. You must do it yourself. Yeah. Absolutely. And I was speaking to Nevin McGuire earlier, and Nevin said he spent some time up with you, and he had a wonderful time up there.
Well, look, for us to have Nevin McGuire, a Cavan man, but more importantly, I mean, the work that Nevin has done for Irish food on the island of Ireland to promote it. I mean, don't forget your own. Nevin is as good as you get on the island.
Great ambassador.
Great ambassador, but also a gentleman. I mean, a good friend to me, but also a guy I would consider a really good mentor to me. And you don't often get the opportunity to say that. But also, I mean, he's the most consistent person I know. He's the same to his family as he is to his staff, as he is to his customer. And I just wish we could mould Nevin and make more people like him in the industry, because he is very, very unique.
Yeah. Well done. Now, I just want to ask you one little silly question, and we're going to talk about an award after that. Is, where did your love of cooking, when did you realise, or when did it dawn on you, say, I like cooking, I love cooking, I want to cook? When did that happen to you?
Very strangely, for me, if people remember Inishowen, they'll remember a very famous company called Fruit of the Loom that produced garments and t-shirts. So what Fruit of the Loom done then when I was a child, basically 13, 14, 15, they employed a lot of young people who became early school leavers at 15. I'm from a family of 12, so the point that I'm making is that my brothers and my sisters were earning huge money from Fruit of the Loom, and they all had left school, and that was a huge problem for the area of Donegal at the time. And subsequently, years and decades later, it created a bigger problem. But so Fruit of the Loom disappeared, but I stayed out, and I didn't want to go into a factory situation, and that appeared, that I was a little bit sort of different in terms of, well, why would you not want to earn the money that was available? And it's because I wanted, and I loved what I did at the time, which was a small part-time job of peeling potatoes, cutting them into chips, in a local cafe. And then that local cafe opened a restaurant, and I got moved up there, and I had no formal qualifications at that point, and I just became, I suppose, a commie chef in a way, because I was doing a lot of food preparation. And then what happened then is I said, well, I need to go back to college. But going back to college was the formal qualification piece, but I loved the buzz of that industry and working with food. I mean, something that you can feel, smell, touch, taste, like we all work.
We're getting loads of the smells here today.
We all work on our senses. Yeah. We react to our senses and our emotions, and they're triggered by food. I think the best mood detector or the best mood enhancer is food. I mean, if I was to make you a cup of tea, there's an instant lovely,
it just brings you and calms the whole thing. You like going to somebody's house. You love going to somebody's house to slap you up a nice sandwich, don't you?
Totally.
Absolutely. Now, I want to get to your award. The best cookbook in the world, and the award for the best cookbook written by a chef has been won by anybody else, only yourself. And you received your award recently in China.
Yeah, look.
That is big stuff.
It's massive, and we're blown away by it.
What was the name of your book?
The book was Donegal Table, so it was about that table.
Brilliant.
I talked about my family, 12 people in the house, fighting for a space to sit at the table. We grew up with a 3-bedroom council house. There's no hard luck story in this. It's just how life was in rural Ireland in large families. So the sense of the table was a security thing for me. My mother, you knew you were with your family. There was a safety element.
She was a good mother to make you feel safe with your family.
I wanted to title the book Donegal Table, and look, we had no expectations for the book other than to arrive at food festivals, sell a few copies, be proud of the journey, the story, the producers, and everything that was in the book. And then all of a sudden we get this email saying, your book has been selected to represent Ireland
in the world.
And then to go to China and to be sitting there shortlisted from 250 some books in the world,
and
written
to win
by chefs.
Oh my God, that must have been just that was a moment you will never forget.
It's a moment we'll never forget, and we'll never top it either, by the way. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And it's just lovely, even coming here to Taste of Cavan. It's everyone's first conversation is, congratulations and well done in relation to the book. And I just feel proud that we've been able to represent Ireland, and we've been able to showcase the hospitality that we do to a global audience in China, because the Chinese media is, it's a scrum is the only way I can describe it when you get out there, and particularly because we won. And
how about the language barrier? How did that work?
Well, in interviews you had an interpreter like that was taking place, and I get very passionate when I talk, so they're stopping you and there's an interpreter in between, and I said I felt like Billy Connolly, you forgot what you said times and you returned back to it, and he was a great comedian, storyteller in doing that. So, but look, a lovely experience, one that I'll never forget, and one that won't change us and what we do, but it's just changed people's perception.
So obviously that book, The Donegal Table, can be got in any good bookstore,
it is.
And it's retailing at
€20.
€20. I'm sure there's nice pictures in it as well.
There's beautiful pictures of
brilliant
the food,
photography,
Donegal, the landscape, the producers, but you can relate that to any rural part of Ireland, because we all have a milkman, we all have a butcher, we all have a fishmonger and a farmer. Don't forget that. Reconnect with them if you've lost connection.
I've one last thing to say to you, Brian, is that, and I was actually speaking to Nevin earlier, and he said that you are a great man for, Ireland is an island. We're surrounded by sea, and you're a great man, and perhaps we don't eat enough fish, but you're a great man for the fish dish.
Come here. You're right, we're an island. We're a small island. We all know each other.
We don't realise that.
And on a global scene, we're only a very, very small dot. So when you're surrounded by an island, it means you have the best seafood potentially in the world and the cleanest waters, which we do have. So where we're based is up near Greencastle, and I'm a big fan of promoting fish. And yesterday in my demonstration, I did exactly that. I talked about the fishermen, because they're the heroes in my book. They leave for 10-day trips, way without their family, and to have to bring seafood home and have to export it to Spain, to France, because the Irish consumer isn't eating enough of it. We need to change that message, and I'm certainly on that journey to change it, and it's working. 70% of our sales
are fish. And now we're realising that fish is so healthy, as long as it's fished from safe seas.
It's easy to cook. Yeah, it really is. We're just scared of it.
And so healthy.
When it's fresh,
full of omega-3s and omega and everything.
And you're right, it is super, super healthy. It's not produced by a factory, so therefore you're taking layers of any potential things that can go wrong out of it. The factory is the sea, and when it's coming straight in fresh, the less you do with fish, the better.
Well, what can I say? Fantastic as usual speaking to you, Brian. I want you to wish you the very best with the Foyle Hotel, as you call it, in Moville. Lovely place, and I'm sure your boutique hotel is absolutely fantastic, because I'm sure you put such passion into the way you would welcome all your guests. And well done. And thank you for being the MC for the Taste of Cavan for 7 years on the trot.
That is a pleasure.
And you did a very good job, if I may say so myself. And you have to go back to work right now, and I know that. You have to go back now. So I'd like to say thank you very much, and well done at the Taste of Cavan 2019. Thank you.